Welcome to the East End of London. Not very Vegas, but very real. Up front, in your face, lively. There's a game going down here tonight, a very special game of poker. It's private, very private, no room for muppets. Now we've seen these faces winning world championships, test matches and gold medals. But can they cope with real pressure when there's notes in front of them and cards in their hands? This will sort out the men from the boys. Spontoolies on the table, I'm talking readies, and one of them gets the lot. This is poker how it's meant to be played. This is the real deal.
In our Sports Stars Heat tonight, we have some of the most famous men to ever step up to the oche. They've hit 9 darters and won world championships, but tonight they'll be swapping Shanghais for ace highs and bullseyes for bullets. With cash on the table, don't expect any niceties. Welcome to the world of darts.
Not sure they're told in the dress code for this gaff. A darts player in a whistle and a flute. He's taking this proper serious. In seat 6, it's Chris Mason. 13 world championships. He's the dogs with the arrows. Even if the others can't beat him on the hockey, they'll be after having him at cards. In seat 5, it's Phil the Power Taylor. The fans love to hate him on the dart scene. He can check out in front of the ball, but when there's bundles of 50s in front of him, will he crumble? In seat 2, it's Peter, one dart Manley. We all know this ice cream from his tropical shirts and dancing on the hockey. An Essex boy done good. He won't want to be pushed around in his own manner. In seat 3, it's Hawaii 501 Wayne Mardle. They call him Jaws on account of the fact he'll come out of nowhere and tear you to shreds. And you should be scared. He's ranked #1 in the darts world. Get out of the water. In seat 2, it's Colin Jaws Lloyd. In the 80s, what Maggie was to politics, Chaz and Dave were to music, Eric Bristow was to darts. With his Union Jack flights, some called him confident, others called him cocky, but everyone called him crafty. There's more tattoos than the Hells Angels convention in here. Jaws, the crafty Cockney and the power. It reads like a comic book. Double it, treble it, whack it all in. This one'll be messy.
The sharp shooting sensations of the Arrows world gathered here in the Poker Den on a day when they'll be looking not just to hit the doubles and trebles, but the punches and straights as well.
Okay,
6 of the very best from the world of darts.
Chinese.
You do them right, I'll take it every Chinese.
All start with
£1,000.
Winner takes the pot.
£6,000
in all.
20. Oh, yeah. Oh,
The bragging rights as well. They'll also go forward to represent darts at the final table. When they could win another 20 large. Starts off at very modest level, £10 small blind, £20 big blind. Casting his critical eye, poker aficionado Steve Davis.
Thank you, Jim. Action on Wayne Mardle, who has very little and quite rightly passes.
Cool.
It'll be interesting to see these lads who probably play on the circuit a bit. Phil Taylor, perhaps the most experienced in front of the cameras, having picked up a cool $180,000 in an event already in his short poker career.
Wow, £10 a call then.
Call and no raise.
Played with Eric Bristow once, quite loose. Don't know if he's learnt more from watching on television, but he enjoys the crack.
2, Queen, Jack.
And Wayne threw away Queen 2, so he'll be giving that one a rueful smile, I'm sure. But
I would check.
Eric and Phil both hitting.
Check.
50.
£50.
Phil hitting the jack.
And 2 checks before him.
Pass.
Nothing to
Pass.
see why he can't bet. Second pair.
You shut up.
Colours and everything.
The power off to a nice start. It's always nice to win the first pot.
No, you're on nothing.
With any pot.
Fair enough.
You're on the button there.
I like playing that button, mate. So,
One of 3 world titles between them. Intense rivalry between those two.
He's on about Brian, the other side.
The draw Manley and Phil Taylor right next to each other, and that would be an extremely interesting heads up.
Yes, I don't know if it spills over into something like poker, where all of a sudden, in a way, you have no real enemies, so to speak. But it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Cool.
If there's any
Cool.
residue,
Cool.
bad feeling, it will spill over, I
Cool.
suppose.
Pass.
They
Pass.
will not want to lose to the other. I think that is fair to say. They will both admit that.
Pass. Pass.
What for
and
tenner, Cole?
any raise.
No.
True.
True.
It would have been
No
a
raise.
tenner.
With the blinds pretty low,
Yeah,
as long as you can
yeah,
get in
yeah.
fairly cheaply. It's worth speculating
Nerves.
a bit.
I'll hold this.
And Peter's got a good hand there.
Yeah,
Queen,
that's
Jack,
small.
both suited.
Could have tried a raise with it. Nothing wrong with just
Get what I've
calling.
got now.
See what transpires.
4, 8.
He's got one diamond there.
Check.
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 Phil's hit a 4, bottom pair. That's enough for
40.
him to stick
40.
£40 in.
Only in already, is he?
Wayne Mardle hasn't got much. Peter Manley's got a bit more of the
Got more than
board,
me,
2 over cards and an inside straight draw.
Nah, you're...
Maybe
Nice.
just about worthwhile chasing this one.
Cool.
Cool.
I certainly worry Phil that he's calling.
Nine.
There it is. Check it, I assume.
Check.
Check. Both checked.
But smelling the danger.
10.
Check it again.
Someone's
and try and
missed it.
induce a bet.
Yeah. Me.
100.
100.
Cool.
Cool.
Didn't even flinch to call there.
Let's have a look at
Quite
your
a
hands,
big
please.
amount of money from the 1,000 first started with.
Absolutely,
That's a
for
false
2
witness.
pairs, 10s and 4s.
Oh, dear.
8,
Peter's
10,
queen
Jack,
straight. Gives him
nice hand.
first blood
Two
in
put it
the
flat.
intense rivalry.
Watch out the way...
Well, so
Perhaps it was,
Disappointed I didn't carry on
the right
playing
thing
then.
to do to bet out. Obviously, you know your man, know your,
Any more
your
in that
customer.
fold.
Let's have a look at the ranking of the hands. At the bottom of the ranking is the high card only. Higher than that is 1 pair, then 2 pairs. Then 3 of a kind, also known as a set. Next up, a straight. That's 5 cards in a row of any suit. Better than this is a flush, 5 cards of the same suit in any order. A full house is 3 of a kind plus a pair. 4 of a kind, of course, is self-explanatory. Looking for that straight flush through is 5 cards in a row, all of the same suit. And a royal flush is top of the pops. A straight flush, ace high.
8.5.
8.5 each, that's right, yeah.
So Peter Manley,
Big
by
money.
virtue of taking 100 quid or so off Phil Taylor, is the very early leader.
Pass.
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 Didn't have the position to play that at all, Phil, despite the fact it was
Pass.
Pass.
King 7. Eric wisely gets rid of his. And Colin with suited connectors but low
Cool.
ones. Has a little cheap look.
Cool. And any raise? No raise.
He's got to hit his suited connectors to be any good. He doesn't really want to hit a 4.
4, 7. Jack.
Now he doesn't know where he stands.
No. Beaten by both. Mardle
50.
sees the 4
50.
and decides to bet. Peter Manley's in a nice position.
Call.
Just flat calls. Doesn't really
Pass.
know where he stands with a bad or a baddish kicker. There's 2 diamonds out there. Third diamond would be a worry.
No.
Now really where Mardle's got to put the brakes on. 3 overcards to his
Could be a big
bottom
blind
pair.
special.
And he's got an inside straight draw as well, Peter, for an 8.
50.
50.
It's not the biggest bet in the world, and it's not exactly going to scare Peter Manley off.
I'll raise it 100.
Raise. 100 more. 150 total.
End of story, I feel.
Should be.
I'm all in.
We raised all in.
Not necessarily the end of the story.
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Friendly game.
That is
That's all we
brave.
have here.
And it's work. It's not just brave,
Well,
it's
certainly
brilliant.
picked up.
What a move.
Very well
What
played.
a move.
How does he know?
You're taking a chance that the guy hasn't hit his straight, but what a move.
Wow.
Has he
Come all
got
this
money?
way. Hand 3. You
Show
go
me the
all
money.
in
You gotta
with
watch it on TV.
10-4 on a pair of 4s.
I know it was well played.
Wow. That was as brave a move as we have seen
Can stretch that
in the whole
far.
tournament so far.
Yeah.
It's a
they went
fine
an
line,
extra
isn't
one,
it,
but
between
all right.
bravery and walking out of the door.
Called two-headed
And
glasses.
now he's put the dark
They call
glasses on
1 point glass.
after the bluff. That's what we love to
3
see.
points actually.
Oh,
Are they original
No,
bands?
you only get one at a time.
That was
No,
the
they're originals. Oh, right.
equivalent.
They don't make dodgy ones.
Going for a 9-dart finish. Going for the ball.
With only one dart.
Show this one for the viewers at home.
It's in the wire.
Another fine
Bouncing
hand
out,
from Mr.
doing a
Mason.
3-point turn and going back in. But he lives to fight another day, and he's the new cash leader.
Pass.
I wonder for how long.
I wonder if his heart rate went through
Pass.
the wall there.
God, not
What a
much.
move. Well, he shows you can sit at home watching and try and predict what the players are going to do. You
Raise
can sit here and
100 total.
commentate, thinking you know a little bit
More like
about
you,
the
Mr.
game.
Mardle.
And then somebody comes out with a
Pass.
move, blows it out of the
Pass.
water. There is an old saying at poker,
You had a monster then, pal,
you
didn't
can call with any
On the
hand.
button.
You reckon?
That's right, you can, you have
were
to,
sick
you
you
can
didn't
bet
get a
or
call.
raise with any hand, but you need a very good hand to call with. So you can effectively bluff your way through the game,
Whatever.
and if you can make the guy believe it,
Whatever.
that's in
My
the
lover.
That's in the blueprint book.
Well, he was playing it down.
Mixer.
Chris Mason said to him, you had a monster there, didn't you?
I must say, the coffee in this
And Wayne
place
said,
is
Yeah,
fantastic.
maybe.
It's cold though, isn't it?
2 and 7. What a
bad, is
monster.
it?
Chris Mason here on the
That's
end.
that new Italian.
Cup ain't been washed out properly.
I believe said in his interview that he wasn't going to play a hand for an hour. He's living up to his words. Bristow finds something quite attractive. Worth a raise.
Boom, boom.
Little song before the raise. Or just a call.
Call.
Yeah.
Pass.
You look happy with that, Eric.
Well, you can find out in a minute, wouldn't you?
I was going to raise, I'd call.
Yeah, raise it.
This shit.
Yeah, the song has put him off.
They consider that Eric must be a bit on the tight side if they're giving him the respect, although he is dominated by Phil Taylor's ace-9. Mixture of hands there, but they're all in pretty cheaply. 2 hearts.
395.
And that's great for Eric.
Great for Phil as well.
100.
At the moment, will Eric come over the top of him?
Pass.
Mason doesn't like it. Now, Eric, do you make a move or do you just call? It's a lot of money, 100.
100.
Yep. Call.
Not Wayne Mardle. No, he's not. I
Pass.
thought he was in the mood to just go over the top of the whole table. So once again, Phil bets and gets a customer. He didn't like what happened last time,
10.
and he's not much going to like that. And hopefully he sees the danger.
As
Check.
the old adage goes, stay out of the black and into the red.
Eric has a look to make sure they haven't changed. And now represents
100.
flush with a tiddler bet for the size of the pot. And Phil's now got to make a decision.
Pass.
And that's the right decision.
Wow, I'm glad I
Takes the
got
nut
that.
flush.
I couldn't believe his arts. There you go. The minute he had a look again.
I mean, I couldn't have called anyway. I'm just glad I got
I
out.
knew I had it anyway. I was looking to get it anyway.
He shouldn't have done. He put me on the ace.
We'll see how good you
Shouldn't
do
have
later.
done it. Shouldn't have done it.
If you're as good at this as
Made a
darts,
big error
if
there,
you're
I'll
as
tell
good at this as darts, you'll be gone in a minute. Don't worry about it.
Best of order, please. This lot are not the best of China plates. I think there's a few photos pinned on these guys' dartboards behind closed doors. Let's get the inside on the rivalries.
Well, hopefully I would have been the one to watch, but we're competitive with darts, so we want to win. Everybody, the 6 players, wants to win this.
I would like to beat Phil the most because he always beats me on the dartboard, so I want to smack his backside. They're all gunning for me because I keep beating them on the dartboard, so we'll see. You've got to play the right time, the right cards at the right time, and I think they're all a bit cocky, all a bit, they've got a chance of winning something, so we'll have to knock them down a peg or two.
Welcome back. The darts players' heat is in full flight, and I think it's fair to say you wouldn't see these lot having a friendly game down their local. Best of buddies, they are not. Looks like there'll be fireworks in the East End tonight.
I didn't say minded.
Who's this tripod? It's better.
Still trying to come to terms with that Wayne Mardle move early on.
Pass.
Hand 3.
Cool. Marvellous play, isn't it? There's us telling it. Telling everybody, well, me telling everybody it's the end of that hand.
Cool.
Chris Mason, who was playing
So
tight,
I've got the tenner,
decided
haven't
to play even tighter and call
Well,
with
you can raise there.
a pair of 10s.
And any raise.
I'll raise it 50.
See, I don't write there, did I?
Colin Lloyd
Made
with
the tenner there, didn't I?
picture cards
Yeah, take the
50 to
tenner.
call.
has raised, and it's going to be interesting now to see how Chris Mason plays this.
Re-raise.
Re-raise.
And there's your answer.
Things are heating up.
200 more.
200 more, 270 total.
Now, Colin, what do you do here? Reach straight for the
So you want
stack.
another 200?
Another 200 to call.
Yeah, cool.
Really
Cool.
consider where he stands in this hand, what Mason is raising with. He must assume that there's an ace
Splendid.
there somewhere, so that he's behind.
Come on, nice eye flop. Come on. Get one of
He
them
has
out.
2 over cards, although he won't necessarily know that.
9.
There's the ace.
7.
That's a scare card in
Ace.
some ways for both of them.
Shoot you.
Now, does Colin represent the ace by putting a big bet in here?
No, it's just coming in.
I'll check.
Check.
That's a sign of weakness. Unless Chris thinks it's a check raise, but clearly he doesn't. He's just going
250.
250.
to try and take him out now.
Okay, I'm going to make a bold statement. It's the end of this hand.
Chinese still? Could be 5 left.
Just thinking you carry on.
Well,
Pass.
one out of 2 I've got something.
You're on the pancake roll at the moment.
Wonder what Wayne would have done there.
20
You
for
know
me.
what Wayne would have done.
No,
He
it's
wouldn't
nothing
have
for
stood
you
for it.
yet.
Over the top, all
Just
in.
the Chinese later.
Just Chinese
That's fair
later.
enough. Then. That's fine.
10 cup. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Chris Mason, who said he wasn't going to play a hand for the first hour, apparently, has one hand 7, and was in some ways forced to play that
It was
hand.
either a good chuck or a bad one. Oh, now on the rerun.
Pair of
Good
10s is
rerun.
difficult to throw
You'll have to
away.
watch the telly.
Yeah.
Can't afford one of them.
It's been a pretty lively start so far, hasn't it?
Well, they've all tried to get involved. And other than
got
Colin,
ice in here,
they've all won
innit?
a hand already.
What's going on?
And
Rats. Rats.
cool.
And call. That's 20 to call.
No, thank you.
Pass.
Some fried rice, please.
Call.
Raise.
Suited
Raise.
queen and 8, which aren't up to too much really. So it's not going to get
Call,
past
really,
the
don't it?
policeman at the table and the robber at the
All
same
in there.
time.
Cool.
Wayne Mardle just working
50,
out
raise
how
50.
much. He's just
Okay.
a raise of
50 more,
50.
70 total.
Not massive. It really does tie Chris Mason in to some degree. It's not that big an amount.
Cool.
Call.
Queen Jack probably looks attractive. Perhaps Colin Lloyd could get out of trouble, but there may be
Yeah,
some
go
value
on,
there
have a
as
look.
well.
Call.
Why not?
He's not happy with it.
Damn.
A pretty sizable pot.
Nice to see 3 of you still here.
I've never been in a tournament so long.
I know that.
10 Jack 2.
Now, 10 for Wayne, Jack for Chris. Chris in the box seat at the moment with that pair of jacks, but is Wayne with his ace kicker sizing this up.
Colin Lloyd with a... Well, the 9, he'd love a 9. He's going to represent something
100.
bigger. He's put in a nice sized bet, which at best perhaps
Call.
the rest could
Call.
only call. Perhaps Mason may raise, but he may get to see the turn without the raise. This is a tough raise with just a queen kicker. He's up against a possible ace-jack. The raising hand from Mardle, although perhaps he would have raised.
Pass.
Pass.
And that's a very disciplined fold.
Promised to play quite tight early on, and he's certainly shown that by playing that hand in the way he has now. What about these two?
It's a tough one to know whether that's the right fold or not. It's so.
What's she waiting for?
There's nothing ever wrong with
Oh, earpiece, you got. Right.
folding with a dangerous kicker.
Queen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at
there
that,
he's-
Chrissy. He's
No,
got
it's the
that.
wrong
She's
fold.
another one there,
He's
he's
thinking,
got
oh
that.
dear.
Believe in yourself, Lee.
King 8's been nice now, bro.
Nice king again. Burn revolt.
Now Jaws
There's a team.
might be able to bite here.
100.
Pair of queens. He's got that inside gutshot draw as well. A 9 would land that for him. And Wayne, as you can see, only a 4-to-1 chance of
Then me and Chris
winning
have
this
2
hand.
cups as well.
Will he make the right decision here? Now on hand 3,
I think that'd be
he
a big
waded in here. Will he try and scare off Colin Lloyd in the same kind of way?
Them special
Well, if he knew it was a 4-to-1 chance and he knew the pot size, then perhaps
Did you have ace king?
he could
No, he
bet.
had the
But
jack, but he
Did you have ace king?
No, Jack Queen.
Queen jack. You're
it's a
joke.
different story, not knowing the cards,
You got to have queen jack.
to predicting what's the right
Might
bet
have
for
been a
pot
great
size when you
fold,
know
but no.
both cards are out. Both
I
hands
think it was
are
a
out.
great fold. But
So Colin Lloyd will be
Felt sorry for you there, Wayne.
10 deuce on there.
See me old stack.
pleased with that. He got top pair to fold.
He called a raise. He didn't call a raise with.
Betting out
a pair of
on
aces.
the come,
No,
so
he
to
didn't.
speak.
He had 8-9 suited, I think.
Who's going to be
Was that not
the man
double?
who's sharpest round the
You're
table?
right. You won a world championship.
Who's going to be able to
okay.
spear the other 5 and take the
It's me, you. Three of us
£6,000?
here. But these 3 should be gone first then, really.
It has been
Yeah, but you was bad.
quite an astonishing start, really.
That didn't
9
help.
hands.
Yes, a breathtaking move by Wayne Mardle. Big lay down by this gentleman, although it's easy to say that with when you see
You
all
were
the
the
cards
follower.
out. And Chris Mason was talking in between hands about
I'll follow him, 'cause he knows
possibilities
how to
of
play.
getting tied into a hand, into a pot that he didn't want to be involved in.
Someone else have a little mingle.
Pass.
Cool.
Call and any raise.
No.
Not a
No
lot
raise.
out here. And a pot there for the taking, albeit a small one.
3, ace, 6.
And another 2 diamonds for Peter. And Wayne's hit his 6. So, bottom pair for the middle pair for Wayne, but
20.
it's difficult with that
20.
ace being there when that really is toe in the water. It's a toenail in the water.
Yes,
I'll raise it 30.
and it's been
Raise
just
to
flicked,
50.
not smacked,
30
just
to call.
flicked. They're quite
Hold on, I've got
painful.
to put my glasses on.
A little less intense for this hand.
Makes me look better, doesn't it?
Honestly?
Don't lie to me, Christopher. Royals and after a night out. Cool.
Discounting the fact that Manley may have been slow playing an ace and calls with second pair.
Queen.
Makes the job a little bit harder now for Wayne Mardle. I don't suppose he thinks he's in front by that percentage. So it's difficult to raise a bet here. But he's
60.
going to.
60.
It's just the right amount of money to make calling for the diamond the wrong bet on the maths. Only just though. But the potential for winning some more money is attractive to
Call.
Manley.
So he has called it, and it will go to the river. And he obviously wants to see a diamond now, Peter.
9.
He can get it.
Feel better now.
And it's better for Wayne, because he's now got 2 pairs. Dropped his 9 in as well on the river.
Time to get a 4 and a 5.
It's the green light to go ahead and bet, unless he feels
Getting ready to put that in.
unless he feels he
He
could
wouldn't.
Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes.
extricate some more money by the alternative method.
I wonder why I'm not hitting me doubles.
In this situation, he's not going to get a caller. But of course, he wouldn't know that. He got a caller in Phil.
100.
100. Pass.
It's just, I can't believe what a flop was.
Just about any kind of bet would have been enough for Wayne there. That little bit of luck with the 9 coming in as well. Played it well.
Can't help yourself, can you?
That's another good hand for Wayne Mardle. And he, along with Chris Mason,
Pick on the
joint
lights.
cash leaders.
Pick on the lights.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
The girls went through.
Pick on the smallest one.
Yeah, but there was no muscles here, that's right.
So Wayne and Chris at the top with just less than £1,200 each. It's Phil that's bringing up the rear at the moment, the multi-world champion in the world of darts, bringing up the rear in the world of poker, but there is a long, long way to go where these 6 men are concerned.
Only time to go back is when it's a free bar.
Eric, Colin, Wayne, Peter, Phil and Chris.
Wouldn't want that lot waiting on the dartboard for you. Winners days on.
Right, let's get on with it
You
then.
probably wouldn't
Someone's
have
got
too
to
many
go,
darts,
innit?
would you,
It's getting a bit boring now.
for your night's work?
Something's got it for you.
Chris Mason with
Cool.
Call.
unattractive 2 cards in some respects, especially if you're the first to
Pass.
speak. And that's the problem with
Cool.
that type
Call.
of hand first to speak. You have to
Go on,
run
I'll
the
make it a little
gauntlet.
friendly pot. Cool.
Call.
It's getting friendly unless somebody's got a
Call.
big hand.
And no raise.
Go on,
It's a very sedate table so far, isn't
I'll
it?
just go sit in the corner then.
Maybe not quite as sedate as you like to make out, Wayne, with your
Nah, it's a friendly pot,
bulldozing
anyway.
move over the top, but it's a real family pot, this, with
8.
something
King.
for everybody.
Jack.
Colin's hit
Didn't
his
get rid of at
king,
least 2 or 3 of them anyway.
What that is? What
Yeah.
this is?
and he's
Oh,
hit
yeah.
the jack as well. In fact, that's a great flop. 2 pair for Colin Lloyd,
Check. Check.
Well,
and Chris, Phil
60.
and Peter have all hit pairs as
60.
well, so we might see a bit of action here.
yeah, he's betting into Colin Lloyd's King Jack, and immediately,
Call.
and it's called. So
Glasses time again.
quite an interesting call. There are 2 clubs on there out there, which is a danger. And by just calling, he's allowed Wayne Mardle to get in cheaply. Oh, I don't know that though. I'm going to go for the big one.
Twicking us.
Pass.
So
Pass.
Wayne Mardle getting the
go.
value here to call with his club draw.
Only cost me 80 so far. Exactly out.
Chris Mason must be worried about what he's up against. 2
Nice call
callers
there, though.
when he came out betting, and look at the percentage chance he's got of winning.
7.
Doesn't change anything. Colin Lloyd's still in front.
Wayne's got one more chance of hitting his club.
Check.
Check.
Got a better chance now of getting involved. Yes, could hit a 10.
50.
That's a nice
150.
little bet there.
Look at me trying to get a
Ask
steal.
a few questions.
You wouldn't know how.
He's trying to reel Wayne in.
I know.
150.
I've stolen 2 world
Okay.
titles.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
No, you deserve to win them.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, this bloody tea's getting gold.
150.
9, 10.
That's on some ice in your tea. Drippy down your shirt, but
You would have called, flat called 9, 10.
it's cold.
That's what I've done it.
150 to call, 430 in the
Table's
pot.
all wet.
Roughly 4 to 1 to hit your club.
It's tea. Spilt your tea.
It's you with your water.
Do I feel lucky?
Was it 5? Or was it 6?
Do I feel lucky?
There's 8 clubs out there that could help him.
Got a part of
King of
it.
clubs is no good.
Adele, be a bit of a mug to play this. When I threw
About
down the
5 to 1
Jack
to
Queen
hit
when I
his
thought
club.
I was getting involved in trouble.
Now a decision.
And the out I need, I think
Get
he
that shot to me, that
has.
liar.
Well, Chris just said there he's a 5 to 1 shot. That's how he's
Cool, actually.
ascertained it. And he's
Good
in
man,
fact
Call.
10 to 1 shot. As you can see by the percentages.
He's probably thinking the Jack helps him as well.
You can't really put Colin on King Jack from the way the hand has been played.
Oh, he's only. I say he's only hit it.
He has Jack straight.
Yeah, now,
Well,
Yeah.
Might have been right here, Eric.
Hey. I think my deuce 3 was best folded.
He's going to come out betting.
200.
200.
And I think Colin Lloyd's going to find it very difficult to throw it away. If he can get rid of it, it's good poker. He may just sort of be hanging on to the fact that his King Jack was good from the start, and he has to call. Dead to a 9. That's what he's going to see.
2 pair looks good to me. 2 pairings.
Queen 8.
Kings and Jacks.
There's the 9.
Straight.
And with the 200 that came down from Chris, you think that Colin maybe should have thrown it away? Very easy to say from here, of course, but did it really represent that 9?
Well, to some degree, straights are slightly more hidden than flushes when they're right. So he had to ask himself perhaps the question, why did Chris Mason lead out betting? What did he actually, you know, just think a bit more about his opponent's hand rather than what he had.
That one for me when you're out there. Right.
Mace the ace, the new cash leader, £1,740.
Amanda? I've won 18,000 online in a $100 rebuy. I've won 5,000 live, and I play a lot of private games, and I've won countless of those. Yeah, I feel very confident. But it's like any poker; it doesn't matter how good you are. If you don't get the cards and you don't hit the flop, you know you can only win with nothing for so long before you're going to walk into a monster and someone steal your chips.
It's easy, Albert.
Okay, you're 40 Chris, please.
40 £, man.
The buttons move round to Peter.
He's going to be my dealer.
Where's you do?
Well, Colin Lloyd has found himself a little unlucky to be bottom of the pile.
No. Chinese.
Possibly on reflection, slightly bigger bet may have scared off his opponent.
Whose bet is it, Mother? Mine? You can have them back. It's very nice of you to do it.
Bristow playing very
But I
tight
don't
at the
really want
moment.
cards like that. Thank you very much.
Pass.
Yeah, surprisingly so as well. I mean, he's only played 2 hands out of 11.
Coffee or tea last
Tea.
Wayne, on the other hand, has, along with Peter, seen more than half of the hands that we've played so far. Phil will definitely be having a look at this one with a pair of jacks.
Phil's having a little bet.
One of his jacks is gone.
60.
Pass.
Pass.
So, the question, will Peter Manley get involved with ace small kicker? Always got to consider the fact that you're dominated by a bigger ace. Well, it's just not going Phil's way unless he can somehow
10-4,
get
10-4.
Manley off of this.
Good buddy.
Is that you, Jake? Jake, is that you?
Phil check to see where he is.
We've got a combo. Yeah.
Peter Manley really should be betting to see where he is as well.
Who was that? Was that Chris Stockton?
Unless he decides that Phil hasn't got an ace and can
And
trap
also
him.
the
100 bet.
other bloke with the wig. Part bloke with the wig.
Who sung it?
Howard Kill.
Yeah, okay, let's play
Well,
golf.
Phil's calling to hit
He's gone now.
a lone jack.
No, he's dead.
Perhaps thinks there's 2 live jacks there, but
Top of the box, anyway, isn't it?
5.
Bloke with the wig.
this is becoming a nightmare
Jack.
for
Very
Phil
false
Taylor.
The yank, isn't it?
Especially if he calls any more money,
Precariously
precariously low as it is.
Doesn't look good, you. Oh no, you should have had a wig.
That look good, you.
He should have penciled his eyebrows in, that boy.
250.
250 bet.
That's a big enough bet to perhaps get Phil off this. Frustration does creep in at this game if you don't see the right cards turn and you just start
Pass.
chasing, but disciplined fold.
What's the hand? What's money?
He's a nice hand.
LOL.
You don't know what he's got.
You don't understand.
He's saying nice win, but you can't say
That must be
nice
very
hand.
frustrating
Can
for
say
Phil.
nice
Pair
hand,
of
'cause it was
jacks,
better than all
good
of ours.
hand, pocket jacks, and still ends up with nothing. It's cost him a few quid. He's lost
I thought you said it wasn't
£200
better.
on that hand, and he's down to 520, so he's down to half his initial starting stack.
I'm going to tell
Yep, you could argue that perhaps
No, I
to
just
get
told
rid
you
of
once, it was
an
first
ace-5
one,
around
and
this
then do it
table, you've
again.
got to make the raise
You
bigger.
bragging, really, weren't you?
But such is the starting stack of 1,000.
I'll show
Got
you.
ace flush.
It's a bit committal to make it too
Give
big.
a little Larry Large, wasn't he?
No, it was just a lovely
Look at
ball.
the cards I'm getting. Larry Large. Look, I just went out 13, 11, 11.
How much are they?
40, please.
40. Bloody hell. Well, that's a bit.
86.
Action on Colin, who under the gun
Any
might
face
fancy that.
cards
And Wayne likewise
Got
throws
something,
his.
isn't it? Cool.
Peter doesn't want to play his.
I'd like
Phil
to play
will.
this hand for my mate Roger, but I won't.
Not sitting on the 9-8, but
Friend of mine.
Was he dead?
he'll have a go.
No, no.
Oh, right.
Is he skint?
He's very. No, he's not. No, he's very much alive.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Any raise?
No.
Is it one
No
of them
raise.
hands that can catch?
Team Mullinahone.
Eric Bristow with the ace-3 of hearts.
Jack 2.
And he's hit 2 threes, 2 hearts.
Check.
And,
Check.
perhaps Chris Mason's
And
ruining
check. All
getting rid
check.
of that 2 at the moment. Nine of hearts would be a killer card for
King.
Phil Taylor in some
There you go.
respects. And now
Check.
Check.
the player who
Check.
threw
And
away
check. All check.
his
Friendly,
King
isn't
2
it?
would have hit a full house.
A little bit too friendly, I think.
Yeah.
And there's the 9 of hearts.
That
Talk
is
to any of
well,
you anymore.
the nightmare scenario for Phil.
It just may sort of suck Phil into having a stab. That's the trouble. But the pot's pretty small. There's not a lot to be playing
Are you
for.
checking there, Eric? Or
No, 100.
100 bet.
I'll call.
100 called.
Same cards, mate.
Well, he knows from the
Ace
way
flush.
that
Have you got flush?
Eric has
Yeah.
played it that he didn't have the king, but the ace
I
flush.
folded King 2.
For the second
Was it
time.
F3 last time?
No,
He's
And he
won
wouldn't
some
have laid
money.
that down enough.
Bit of mountain to climb, wasn't it? Did you get that? You don't get that.
Fair play. You're a small blind.
Is it?
20.
What was India?
One of the largest ones in.
Yeah.
I think it is.
It's nearly as big as Mount
Your bank
Snowdon.
balance.
Nearly as big as Mount Snowdon.
Nice, man.
Action on Wayne this time, and the king of spades is joined by the 9 of
Your
diamonds.
last bet, mate.
Fair to mate.
Eye glasses are out.
Raise.
Raise.
Now, he puts the glasses on to try and distract his opponents from what he's going to do, but it's looking
50.
increasingly
Nice
like a
50.
tell.
Okay, it's 90 in total.
Hides the eyes, puts the glasses on when he's
Just
not
wanted
got a
rid of the
hand, and
tennies,
he's
to
trying
be
to
honest.
misrepresent.
Get on my nerves.
In front of you.
Not too sure that's
19
going to
total.
be picked up around the table, but
Pass. Pass.
Is it my bet?
would it be good enough to put Chris Mason off ace 8,
He's
which
got a
is
hand.
it's half a
He's got
hand,
a
isn't
hand.
it, Chris?
No, it doesn't mean nothing.
Half
He's going
a
300.
No, he's not.
What are you doing, man?
He's going all in.
Goddamn fool.
You ain't getting me on no plane.
Crazy
I'm
fool.
going to have a look. Oh, cool.
90 called.
90 call. I'll just,
Pass.
I'll give that to you, my lad.
Just a call at the moment then, with the ace 8 suited. Now, Colin Queen
Bet you
5.
want
You got a grin like Mr. Cheese out of the Muppets, I tell
you
you.
got 150 to play.
No.
He's not playing.
No.
Pass.
Oh, that's a good
I bet I'll
decision.
beat your end.
So,
I'll
Wayne
beat you around in a minute.
You won't beat me around.
getting involved with
TV.
King 9.
Beat your hand. Oh, is that what you said?
Chris said
You
it
do
would
it
be
later in the
very
room.
tight. Wayne, in fact, speaking to us beforehand, said that he would be quite tight early on and that he thought Chris would be tight. Now, it
Very
hasn't
nice.
turned out
Two.
that way as far as he's been concerned, but does he now think that Chris, being tight, is only going to be representing what he's got? That ace has come down. It's a massive ace for Chris.
Well, it is, unless he talks himself into believing that Wayne Mardle had a bigger ace, and then the question arises, why did he call?
100.
100 bet.
But he's not having any of it. He doesn't believe. He thinks he's still in with a shout, or is he?
Need some cash.
He's giving himself a problem he perhaps
He's
didn't
getting
need to get involved with.
Still. No, you're in trouble. They'll be
We've
after you.
seen one over-the-top movement.
We've also seen Chris pass the top pair
Raise.
before as well.
Raise.
Not this time.
Well, this way he will know where he stands, and that's the advantage of raising rather than calling. It's just there's not a lot of
There's
money
three.
out there to play
Raise is
with.
300. 400 in
It's quite a
total.
large amount of money, although he is chip stack leader.
No, that's what I call a raise.
And that's a bet that Wayne Mardle can't call. But then when did we say that again? The over-the-top
Maybe
all-in
time for me
movement
to
would
go.
probably work again.
Yep.
Oh,
So how much was it?
300.
He's calling with mincemeat. He can't call it. He just cannot call this bet. He can go over the top and go all in again. He's having a count up, see how much he's got left. This could be a fold now.
Can I find out if I have him covered? If I go all in?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying if.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't got him
Yeah.
covered. can tell you that. You haven't got him covered.
You ain't got me covered.
I'm telling you that from there.
Have you got that, Chris?
There's loads. He's won that big hand earlier on.
This is interesting, isn't it?
Trust
What's
me,
going
I
through
know.
Wayne Mardle's mind, and now all of a sudden, what's going through Chris Mason's?
Don't worry about it.
You got it?
Six.
There you
All
go.
right, fair
No,
enough.
trust
Okay.
me. Bloody hell. Come on. I can count. I'm a spotter.
It would be a move, and it would be an
Seen that
interesting
before.
move. Can he do it again?
I thought you went for the wrong double.
The last time he went over the top was a complete reaction straight away. This is a considered over the top.
And as such, might be easier to read. Who knows?
I've got an ace all in. You've got 2 pair, you mate.
Oh, he's giving it a moody bluff there. That's brilliant.
No way, you'd have just called me 10s, so you ain't got pocket. I'm all in.
For the second time, Wayne Mardle goes all in. Now, he's then thrown in the double-double bluff by saying goodbye.
A treble, double, treble bluff, and a stand-up and a drink of the water in a completely different way to the last bluff. But what a headache it's given Chris Mason.
He's got a pair of aces. He's hit double top. He's a massive favourite.
But he's got a dog of a kicker.
And he's got the most erratic, but brilliantly erratic, Mardle asking him the question.
It's a great call if he can raise it out of his body, but it's a sensible fold.
So low.
Coming last is going to hurt them all. Coming last will hurt Mason so much. And that, I'm sure, is playing at the back of his mind. I think if one had gone already,
How much is it more to me?
he might be playing this slightly differently, I don't know.
He's going to still be in the game,
620 more, that was lucky.
which has some bearing on things. He'll have about 500 left, should he decide to call.
That's a 3.
But from being chip leader, he'd be right down the bottom of the pile.
That's a 4.
What we do
That's a 4.
hope would happen is if he did fold, that possibly Wayne would show the bluff. That could create bit of tension.
Sure, not much.
Being put on the clock by Mad Marty.
You've heard about his sex life.
30 seconds. Taking a long time to count the money.
Marginal kicker. Start now.
10.
Pass.
Wow. Wow. And he shows the bluff.
Nothing.
Yeah, knew it.
He didn't know it.
Three,
He did a bet. That's full.
Very good.
Mardle has done him again.
Small
You can
raise,
see
three flop.
the steam coming out of the ears from
Is that
here.
right?
Very good. Hey, end of story.
Is Mace the ace off the pace?
Job done.
The spiel bit about I'm out of here, that's what put me off. I thought that was
Hey,
thought that was goading me in.
Hey, it's your choice.
What they don't know,
Whatever.
that's the second time he's done it.
Played in Vegas last year, literally for like sort of 12 hours a day, and I was winning. So I'm playing with Americans. They're good teachers. They know how to win a pot, and I held my own. So I've got a bit of experience. I'm quite sort of a jovial character. I can have a laugh, and people sometimes think that I'm not serious. So if I raise and they think, oh, he's got nothing, but after time they call or they re-raise me and I'll go all in, and I've normally got the nuts.
There's things when you do things like that what makes you sound popular.
Who gives a shit?
See, that was Manley-esque.
He's
I
not
don't
laughing.
really know. 9, king, 9, 10,
Yeah, nothing.
Jack and a queen, I suppose, really.
Nothing, yeah, nothing.
Only out.
If you had
But he had
ace,
big
jack,
balls.
ace, queen, ace, king,
Big balls.
you wouldn't have called. You wouldn't have called the 50 raise, would you? So if you had ace and you haven't got a jack, queen, king with it, you can't call. Can you?
Telling it like
Can't.
it is.
That's what I thought about the 2 pair.
Should have been one.
Aces and 10. Ace and 10 was more
Now,
likely
what's
than
happened here?
ace,
Excuse
queen,
me.
ace,
What
king.
is the call?
Small, big, call, up to you.
There's nothing like having it shoved down your throat, is there?
Do you know something? I think it's a good job. There's about
Well,
35
well,
stone, a professional
Crazy.
dart player
Well,
between the pair of them at the
no.
moment, just in case.
Colin Lloyd's picked up a nice hand.
Easy, fella.
Oh, where's it? Another 100.
Raises 100, 140 in total.
He hasn't got much left. It's quite a substantial amount of his stack. Phil wants to get involved with, well, he's not got the best cards in the world, let's be honest.
I was close. It's close.
They are suited.
It was only leaving me with 400 odd. And if anything 500 or 600, I'd probably
Chris continues.
There wasn't that much in there anyway.
You take the player out?
Ace.
I put 350 in that pot, mate. I wasn't going out for the sake of 350.
You couldn't have won out. You had more money than that.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, but I wasn't going to leave myself short stack at this
gets on with
stage.
the next
Forced to go all in on the margin line.
We're still talking.
Okay, we'll see how good you are.
The last hand.
I think we might still be talking around the table about hand 13 for some considerable
You
time.
bottled it.
It's a sensational hand.
That's the end of it. They watch it on
Colin
TV.
Lloyd had no real
Lost to a king live.
choice other than all in. He might as well try and generate some money if he found Phil with something.
Cameras.
Yeah. Still, my
You can understand
online
Mason's
history is in the
frustration.
books,
He's
mate.
played it.
And my
I
live
suppose,
history in the
right.
tournaments I've won
He's got to be
live, so-
cautious. He's still third, even though he lost that hand, and as he said, he put 350 quid in the
He's
pot.
still on gag.
Still third. Well, the big problem really was calling the initial raise with ace-8 because he's hit once again, as we've seen so often, he's hit his ace and been talked out of it. That means that the ace-8 is not that good. If you hit the cards, you should be able to bet.
Go for it.
Yeah?
Poker's about a bottle.
Is it?
That's right. And
Oh,
yours
they're
just
giving him
went down your leg.
Bristow just goading
Ask the pros when
his
they watch
opponent
it.
at the other end.
Pass.
And I think Chris fancies himself as a bit of a
You won't
poker
get me,
player.
Stephen.
And,
Pass.
he's got a pretty good track
can't
record. He's
afford
won
to
some
buy
money
that
at the game, and I think he likes to consider that that's
I'll have a little look, I think.
Call.
not that he's the best poker player in the world, but he's certainly not the
Yeah,
worst
well,
and one of the
God,
best
isn't it
around
good?
this table. So that will sting a bit. His best poker achievement online, winning 18,000, 5,000 in a live game, only beaten by
Any raise?
Phil Taylor's massive 180,000
Raises
in
50 more, 90 in total.
a celebrity poker event.
Yeah, go on, have a look.
Called.
Why not?
Colin Lloyd with the
Only put in me 20, it'd be friendly.
similar looking ace-5,
Nah.
but he's on the
Pass.
button. He can perhaps take a view as to what's happening.
Wasted 20 hours.
Was, yeah. I thought, if nice little flop comes up, I'm laughing.
Looks like you go in there.
King 5.
Couple of clubs come down. 5 comes down for Colin, so he's got a pair of 5s and an ace kicker, but Peter's pocket 8s still out in front.
Check.
Check.
Always 100.
Well, it was possibly
Bet 100.
worth a bet, but it's first in with Colin Lloyd. It'll be interesting to see how Peter Manley plays this, because he's only losing to a king, obviously. If he calls it, he's locked in to some degree.
Cool.
100 called.
Now, there's lots of cards that come down that could make Peter Manley's decisions even harder.
Nine.
If he checks, it may be the green light for Colin Lloyd to bet some more, even though it wasn't great. It doesn't seem to have changed things too much.
Check.
Check.
Another bet. He's getting quite brave, isn't he? Quite rightly so as well.
All in.
Go all in.
This is marvellous.
That's right. Okay.
No call.
Bet, fella. Bet. You're getting a bit short there, weren't you?
Eric read
That's
it.
right. I knew I was getting short, so...
And Jaws
Thinking, cool.
shows that he has got that bite. Good hand for him.
Let's get somebody gone.
I'm very bad for boredom setting in. I'm one of these people that will get to a point and I'll just go. But there's some serious cash up for grabs today, so I've got to be a little bit more patient. I'm gonna do them all. That's my statement for the day.
With 6k on the table, it's hardly going to be friendly. And no one's disguising how much they want to be the one to walk out with all those readies in their skyrockets. Still all 6 on the table. I can't see this one ending nicely.
keeping this off.
Wayne Mardle is our leader of the pack. Done purely on bravado.
My bet, my love.
Eric Bristow just cannot get a hand at the moment.
Oh, cool.
You know, he's had a couple of nice flush draws that have come good. Hasn't really had a monster to start raising pre-flop. He hasn't seen anything of this standard. Ace-10 and a raise into Ace-10.
And is this the hand? Is this the hand that they're looking at him and they're thinking, doing this again? The only problem is,
you've got to find a customer.
Absolutely. And there's the only potential customer, really.
This is going to be a ding dong on this one.
Horrible cards to really start calling a raise with in some respects. Depends on the size of the raise. You'd like to think that perhaps a couple of other players could get involved as well. Same problem for Queen King as some of the other hands. If you do hit a Queen or a King, you can't be sure that you're in front.
Pass.
Colin Lloyd has a sensible fold with the ace. Now, Wayne Mardle in his usual position of being feared around the table, I would imagine. Well, that's a flop that's not going to scare anybody. So it's just a case of, can you represent a big pair?
Check.
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 And check, all checked.
Phil would have flopped the straight, had 6-3 in his hand, just when he needs a hand, although if he
got an ace,
played 6-3, I think he wouldn't have deserved to get 5-4-2 on the flop.
7.
First one to bet would probably win this.
And you know something?
Check.
And now Peter Manley's been told that perhaps his King-Queen is good enough. Could it be good enough?
Check.
And check, all checked.
Not brave enough. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. I've been in the same situation.
Thinking.
4 hearts.
And now it's a different story.
Just sitting there well or isn't it?
So Wayne's decision, has Peter got a heart?
That's what he
No,
was,
he
isn't it?
hasn't. Has he got a king?
You do feel, don't you? Any bet wins it.
A little feeler 50.
Well, I don't know about any bet. Perhaps that's not big enough. Or perhaps it is. It's sort of encouraging your opponent to call just to keep you honest.
See if you got no heart.
And he's done that. Wasn't big enough.
That's all right.
Hasn't got the heart.
They got 3 or 4. They got a king.
There are kings.
Pair of kings takes Peter an intriguing hand there. Too much respect, I wonder.
Well, it wasn't necessarily the best poke we've seen so far tonight. It was a bit timid play. Perhaps understandable. Mardle's still out in front, no damage done. Phil Taylor really down there low at the moment. He needs something special.
It's the only time in his career he hasn't wanted to see 180. He will, of course, won 13 world titles.
Well, yes, but it won't help him today because he'd love to get through to the next phase and pick up a substantial amount of prize money that's on offer here for this tournament.
First card got you run at the moment.
Thank you, Amanda. It was very conveniently
due for a 7
deuce out into my window.
A chance for a lot more.
Window of your soul.
Oh,
what wonderful
be a
fish,
very
our
big
souls.
window.
Only one player goes through to the next final heat.
Pass.
Final.
All in.
Oh shit.
Phil's decided to make his move.
Sorry. Oh hell.
180.
180. Yay! You never hit one of them before, have you?
I hope you've got ace 8.
Pass.
This time, Chris Mason gets rid of the ace 4.
You'd love to beat him at something, wouldn't you?
No, I could take him on here, but I'll let him go there. I would have went 50 if he would have went.
Wayne Mardle. Colin Lloyd doesn't like it. Wayne Mardle's in a much stronger position. It's going to be about 50-50 if he puts his money in, but
You
Wayne
never
Mardle,
beat
as
him
chip
in your
leader,
life,
is more or less
Wayne. You never
obligated now to
lied.
try and take out Phil Taylor.
You've never beat
Mum, I'm going to knock Taylor out. Yes! Get in there, you little cocker.
No, you never beat him.
Well, what doesn't
Couldn't
help
get another
Phil,
140.
as he's looking for diamonds, is that Wayne's got one in his hand. Peter had
But do the
two.
cards say that I can beat Mr. Taylor?
Chris had one as well.
120.
So, whereas he's
Money in.
thinking that
Go on.
Cool.
he's got a fair chance of picking up diamonds, he's still
Okay.
an even money shot really, but
Sevens.
could have been slightly better
It's
for
Jack
him.
9.
I was hoping you'd say like ace 2.
I had ace 4.
Jack or a 9, of course, completely changes the
Come on.
scenario.
No 9, no jack.
9 of clubs.
No diamonds.
I'll bet on 9 of clubs.
No 9, no jack.
Oh, there's the
Needs
7,
an 8 for a
but
straight.
an 8,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, Phil Taylor doubles up.
Oh.
2.
Can't get a straight now, can I?
Yours again.
Yeah,
Find
yeah,
the
yeah.
guy.
One
Nice.
more card.
No,
Of course I can.
Are we about to
Eight.
see the
Eight's only
end
out.
of Phil
Eight
the
clubs.
Power Taylor?
No.
Full
Power.
Full boat.
Full boat,
Well
get in.
played. Thank you,
And
lads.
that's the end of Phil.
Go, lucky mate.
Hello, Phil.
The power runs out of juice,
Destiny.
and the darts players have had their
never
fill
start
of Taylor.
beating
He
I can't
goes.
believe it.
Do I
And that
lose?
is a
Yeah?
real
And you shouldn't
shock.
be in the game.
The
I mean,
one
Mardle
man
nearly
here
win.
that has
Yeah,
had
you
a
stay
massive
over
win
there.
at poker
No,
before.
you say that.
And
You should be in the
Mardle
game.
has
Yeah, but I am.
dismantled him.
Wayne Mardle's been showing he's got the bottle for this game, kicking Chris Mason where it hurts. Then he started on Phil Taylor. That's for you, Mum, Hawaii 501 called as he sent the power packing. Aren't darts players sweet?
It's nice to win, but you can't always win. Really wanted to, especially being all the dart players. I'm going to get ribbed to death now, but it doesn't matter. I'll be back.
She would do.
Colin.
You and your all your world
I got it
titles.
wrong way
Peter,
round.
Chris.
I know you
Just call me
so I've got
Chinese,
them
darling.
too.
No, not bro.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. We're easy to offend.
You can call me out.
You're out of order.
Wayne Mardle with suited
Put me on tilt
connectors,
now. I'm
but
going to
he's
go massive.
first to speak,
How much is it?
which is a little bit more
It's
risky to
50.
put any money in.
Yes. What's that thing about you and 50s?
I don't think he's
I'll let you
considering a
go to
raise.
50 if you're
Seems like he's
insulted.
raising
Oh,
head on.
cool.
Cool.
Keep getting these marginal hands. You have to go on them.
He's more or less telegraphed the fact that he's got anything special, which is an open
Raise.
invitation for Peter Manley.
100 more, 160 total. One shot.
Too
you're
good
gonna
former
pass it, Chris.
shopkeeper, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to short
Oh,
change,
sure, short changing.
Pass.
Better check that they're real as well.
Chris all of a sudden go up.
Pass.
Colin Lloyd has been playing a variety of hands, but had
100, yeah.
the ability to fold some
This is what I like to
badly
see.
kicked aces.
Bit of action.
Come
They
on.
look attractive.
We'll have another cup of tea.
Little does he know he's dominated in the hearts
No
department.
smoking allowed,
Oh.
hopefully.
Could be in
be
trouble.
cards, couldn't it?
Flop
Just a
came
call.
down with middle cards as well.
It's worth it, go for it.
This looks pretty decent for Manley.
If I hit,
in some
you're all
respects.
finished.
It's the kind of
We're all
hand that you can
finished if
imagine a
I
bit of
hit.
damage here,
I'll
because
find
if the flop comes down
Can't wait to
with
see what you got when I watch
a couple of
this.
hearts in it, then
Have you got a
Lloyd
TV
will
now?
fancy it.
Well,
Comes
I
out
nicked
with
one.
3 hearts in it, and he'll really fancy it,
Again.
unbeknown to him.
Hey, come on.
Nicked it from Holloway. Not Holloway. Where
That's
you
a
stay on the
flush.
women.
Comes down with the jack of hearts in it as well.
Cool. Staying with the women.
Manley might be licking his lips. We'll
Kids.
find out in a moment.
I love them.
I've got away with it and all.
Any jack, any ace.
Meddling kids.
Yeah, yeah.
9,
Manley's.
4,
You
8.
can't get a better flop than that,
3
really.
green ones.
No real connectors on the flop. One player's hit middle pair, which is enough to perhaps instigate a bet. There's no flush draws out there. This is ideally suited for Manley to raise after this bet
100.
from Lloyd.
No, I shouldn't have called.
Sorry, Mardle. Sorry, it's Mardle.
Wish I believed you.
With the 9, sorry.
Honestly.
Lloyd's betting out with
Nothing.
with mincemeat.
It's only 100.
He does like a little bit of a bluff, doesn't he?
Well, you know you shouldn't have called. And
I'm behind.
chasing now. Yeah, when you are
Really
behind,
was back
possibly
when he
not
was gone.
quite as far
Pass.
behind as you thought. Now, what does Peter put Colin on? He's got to see it for what it is. Surely
Raise it.
he's going to come over and take
Raise.
it.
I like your style, Mr. Manley, I must say.
I raise it 300.
I am impressed.
300 more,
bit
full
of panache.
total.
I am impressed. I must admit, I am impressed.
Obviously, I'm impressed you are in a minute.
300.
Pleasantly
Colin
surprised.
300.
Lloyd. Doing this part.
Yeah.
Pleasantly plump.
The neon light is beginning to flash bluff above his head.
A pro would have a little moody up. Have a
Right,
little count up.
aye.
Have a little think, have another little count up, then sling his cards
He's got more than you.
into the middle.
Don't know.
Yeah, it's been the 50s. He's got about 450s there.
But
Yeah,
he's a
200.
dart player.
He's used to counting
What
money,
dart
look.
players can do, they can go all in.
See who gets paid cash all the time, can't you? About how quick they count their money.
Don't normally leave his hand though, does it?
No.
Mardle might go all in here. This is the kind of hand that he was playing earlier. Hand 3 was a bit like this. Colin's folded it.
Take it away,
Right,
pal.
so it's Peter's pot, but...
Mr. Bristow, you are now the dealer.
I've only done that because I've seen him do it to old matey outside and Donna stood there ages counting chips.
I take a bit of stick and I give it a little bit of stick out, and one thing people will never know is whether I'm telling the truth or I'm lying.
Going wrong.
And there's the current state of play.
Okay, so we're having a tape change.
7 hands. Colin Lloyd down in 4th. There's one more hands than anybody else, but he's been able to make them pay by and large. To the same extent, all 5 in profit. At the expense of Phil Taylor, who was the first to walk, was Peter Manley with a lead of just
20 minutes gone already.
What have we got up?
10s. It's when you got the 50s, you want to start breaking.
Small blind.
Who?
Wayne.
You know there's no teams.
Did I?
He's not getting anything good at the moment. They're frustrating cards to get, they really are. First position, Queen 8. Bristow
Pass.
doesn't like the look of those. They're not even good enough to put on the glass. Colin Lloyd slowed up a bit. Probably be a raise from Wayne Mardle. Get aggressive. He's been encouraged by being aggressive.
Going all in.
No, that's not. That's too aggressive. You can only be called by a great hand.
Oh, here we go. 20 minutes left here.
That's a
then you
violent
can do it.
50 in the
There's just
corner.
really no need for that type of bet. He's going to be folding most of the time. Is Manley.
1,000.
Unless he's got a monster hand, you can't let go of. Ace 5.
What a waste of time that is. Come on, we've got places to go. People
Very
see.
interesting. Ace 5. He's got to throw it away. But a little bit bigger. You never know.
I've got 20s, I've got 50s.
See the red things? They don't look like 20s.
The 20's on the top there. Even a blind man can see that.
Who have you got?
Blind man can see that.
Who have you got?
He can't. How can a blind man see that?
You blonde?
No, not having that.
You dye your hair.
What do you have anyway?
6-3.
Be careful what you say. We go to a lot of venues when you say, do you dye your hair?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
6-3, I'll play in front of you. 100.
100.
God, we've gone from having a problem with 50s to 60s and now to 100s. I don't know what's going on.
No good at all, getting shit.
Given average cards, and my average cards are bad cards.
Oh well.
You're going to be back in the hotel room before you know it.
You'd have to rate.
Your Chinese window.
Phil's waiting for me, I don't want to.
What was your great? What was your great saying?
From
Taxi
here
for
on
one,
in,
wasn't it?
somebody would
Taxi?
hit.
That for free, but I beat the free taps, didn't I? Yeah. The World Championship, I beat 2 and
They have been the 2 aggressive players with nothing. Manley has been aggressive when he's had a hand.
Nice.
Haven't seen a Manley bluff
They
yet.
could have got Kev together.
And finally, when Eric Bristow does bet out, they're going to think there must be something there. Because Eric's just had a very black and white game up till now. I don't think Eric's put any money in voluntarily.
Pass.
Had 33 hands and he's played 4.
Admittedly, he's not had any hands, but he's probably getting paid off later. Manley with a nice hand here. Although what he doesn't know is a couple of his queens are actually out around the table. Chris Mason's hit one of his nightmare ace small suited, ace little kicker. Shake of the head. Didn't work last time.
Nice lump sum, isn't it?
Should sling it away this time.
Quietly.
Has he learnt from his previous mistake? Yes.
Pass.
Eric
Pass.
can't get a hand. But he's not showing the frustration, is he, Jim?
Not at all. You get the impression that he would just be sitting there playing exactly the same way, facade the same, irrespective of what he was getting. Now, big move from Lloyd. Big move from Lloyd.
He's called the bet, hasn't he? Or is it a raise? I think it's a call. Manley must have raised with raise queen.
Pot right.
Big pot.
Hot noodle.
Chicken and mushroom pot noodle.
I'm a classic.
You got some style, ain't you, Mardle, or not?
He looks after the wife, doesn't he?
Will Colin Lloyd, who is first to
Does a bit of
speak,
toast with them on a
come out
special
betting
occasion.
regardless?
He's got a brand new kettle to go with it.
I ain't been a while my own enough, have I?
The answer.
8, 8, 9.
He reaches for his money. And puts some in. There's a little hesitation there. Doesn't mean that it'll mean anything to Manley.
3,
Count
4,
up.
5, 550, 630, all in.
Oh. And he's counting very quickly. He's reached for his money. It may be to have a roll call.
He's played so much recently. So does Manley think he's got an 8?
Well, Manley's got enough money covered. This is worth possibly why he's having a little workout of.
Got a couple of quid left,
Is it, how much is it going to hurt him?
Yeah, 630.
630.
Mathematically,
He's
very
got 2
well
over
worked out.
cards. And if Colin Lloyd has bet something big, he's throwing 630 down.
Come on, we want to see some walkers.
And he goes, a great call.
Turn them
It
over,
really is a
lads.
great call.
It is a fantastic call.
On their back,
And I think one of the reasons he may have made it is because he
Kings.
knows that
Already he's
Lloyd's
got
dangerous.
kings.
I think he pays him a bit of
Yeah.
respect, and if he can
yeah.
have a shot at
he's
eliminating him,
Definitely.
even if it all goes pear-shaped for him, he's
10
still
and
only
a-
about back where he
extraordinary
started.
poker.
So,
Colin Lloyd's got 7 cards to
What
hit.
poker manual did you read that
4
lot in?
tens.
Certainly wasn't
jacks.
Doyle Brunson's.
Jesus
Hey.
Christ.
And of course that queen as well would not change too much of the equation because of
300. I say 300. You know what I mean?
Check all runner.
Big blind.
Yeah, you'd be having a laugh, would you?
about an 11 to 4
Three,
shot.
yeah, for-
Colin.
Could be walking out the door, perhaps just a bit too aggressive. Last card.
Done a good call.
No.
Tens or jacks.
You got to believe in the Essex boy, mate.
4
Ten
outs.
spades.
4 outs.
Ooh,
Carry loose, Colin.
lovely. Cheers, boys.
4 of diamonds, not what he wanted. Colin Lloyd.
Oh, you really
Bravery
didn't
perhaps turned
Thanks for coming
into
today.
being foolhardy just at the end.
Don't get
He's the
smarmy
second
'cause
to
you
go.
won.
And Peter Manley's stack increases very nicely as a result of that big hand for Manley.
But the only reason I did it was
Brave call by Manley. Taking a chance. He had enough money covered. Still a brave call though.
I've been playing in front of the cameras now with my own personal sport for the last 7 years, and I've never been so nervous. I played in front of big crowds and whatever, and in there I was just edgy all the way through. You know, the heart was whereas when I get involved in a dart match, it tends to like ease off and I can relax and get into it. I struggled a bit today, and I found it a little bit uncomfortable. Great fun, don't get me wrong, the banter was brilliant, and you know, the guys were great. You know, I'll certainly have another crack, but nervous, I think, nervous.
They never said poker was pretty, and never has that been more true than tonight. They've been niggling and nipping at each other, but Jaws couldn't take a big enough chunk out of the other's stacks, and he's sunk out of this one. Still, 4 in though, anyone's game.
First warning.
Yellow card.
Eric Bristow in the big blind. Wayne Mardle first to speak.
Pass. You can't
An opportunity now
That's
for
my
Chris
bet, yeah.
Mason.
Pass.
Class. No, right.
Cool.
Call hand option. Any raise?
I'm lucky with these two again.
I'll raise 200.
Raise is 200.
Could be fireworks here.
300 in total.
Well, a small confrontation and another problem for Mason.
200 for me to call.
It's not the biggest raise in the world.
So that's the 200 a call, but are you
I'm all in.
going
Okay,
in
all
over
in.
the top? Yeah, he is. All in against a pair of jacks.
How's that heart
See
monitor
the
going now?
percentages. Eric Bristow only
Well,
has
you're
to
there,
call
Chrissy, baby.
to have a nice advantage.
I can cancel this for no
Is that
minute.
two to
He
call?
hasn't really played that many
Yeah,
hands. He
Cancel
may as
this,
well
he
take
just
this
wants
as
to
his
take the cards.
opportunity
Two
to
in,
play
right?
well.
Save his time.
3,
And I don't think
Four,
you're going to get the likes of Eric Bristow,
5,
a champion,
6,
laying
7,
something as
8,
good as
50.
Jack.
850 more.
Jack may look to him.
2, 3, 4, 5,
In it goes.
10.
2 to 1 on to win this hand. And
Right.
I'm going to call him anytime.
take
I'll go home,
Mason
I'll go home.
down to 90 quid.
on the back then, lads.
On their back, sir.
He's got a nice-
Turn them
I'll
over.
be
fella.
Well, he's not out if he
Turn them
loses
over.
this hand, Mason. And he's all but out.
You got jacks.
Oh, Jacks against Ace 7.
It's a race.
An ace turns it
No.
about face.
Obviously, the two diamonds have some relevance. Not now, though.
10 queen, 5.
Don't help.
3 cards.
It's no help for Chris.
Not even
Ace or
2
runner,
more
runner.
clubs would help.
Thinks he's done his money.
9.
It's a shake of the head.
3 aces left, and he needs to draw one of them now.
8.
He hasn't done it.
I'm fine.
Okay, can I just check
A
yours?
queen straight for Eric Bristow.
How much did you have, Chris?
I think he's got about 8
Chris
quid left.
is in real trouble now.
I think you might just be in some.
90 quid left out of his initial 1,000. He's all but out. He's with a big blind of 100.
Bad timing.
Yeah,
760.
He's
700.
to use a darts
They
race
made a
in the
move earlier and
madhouse.
pinched. And we all folded, and then I thought, oh, two hands running.
Standing
I
up.
didn't know an 8, but I pinched.
Only the diamonds or an ace would have helped Chris Mason.
I'm Eric Bristow, 5 times world champion, 5 times world master, MBE, prolific poker player. Longest I sat at a table was for nearly 3 days. So I played a bit of poker. I'm going to win it. I'm not here to lose. I'm not anywhere to lose. I like cards. Well, I better have a good hand here then, don't I, darling?
You better.
Hey, otherwise you won't get a start. Be straight in. No foreplay. Straight in.
Wayne Mardle's gone a bit dry recently.
Pass.
Nice for Manley.
Right.
Raise
300.
to 300 total.
120
All in for 120.
in
150 to
darts
call.
parlance is Shanghai 20s. Forget Shanghai. Mason's hopes look to be going west, not east.
Shouldn't really get involved with a raise.
Yeah, what the hell.
He's trying to.
Okay, cool. 360 in the centre. Can I ask you to give me 5 20s, please?
I've only got one.
Change. I've only got one.
Well, perhaps it's not the worst thing in the
Okay,
world.
back,
Getting a
love.
bit carried away myself there.
Thank you very much.
2 players there
okay,
to knock out
260 remains
Chris
on the
Mason.
side.
As long as they both know the rules to
360,
check it
okay.
down. On the other hand, if somebody should hit something big, it's
Okay.
another story.
Yeah.
It's not a bad situation for Chris Mason. He's got 2 live cards and they're connected.
Jack.
And when he's
Jack.
hit his hand.
9. It's up to you.
All of a
Jack.
sudden he's on 2 pair, and the 9 helps him. No one's got jacks. Who's going to try and pretend that they have? Man, they're going to make that look
300.
as though he's got ace jack in his hand here.
Well, there's money to be played for in the side pot, so it's worthwhile finally betting some money. But all of a sudden, these players are getting involved in what is not necessarily that big a hand. I think this is another moody by Eric Bristow. Surely can't be considering getting too busy here.
Not the old faint again.
No, I don't know. Is it worth it? Like, you know what I mean? I've been shafted here. I've been shafted before.
Won't be the last time, fella.
It's not worth it.
Pass. Okay, so
You made that decision about a minute and a half
Pete,
ago,
so let's
didn't
have
you?
a showdown. Let's have your cards over, Pete, and yours,
So,
Chris.
is it Mason's
Chris shows
last
an 8
hand?
and a 9.
Well, he'd be unlucky, really, to have it taken away from him. He's
Peter shows
in
an
with a
ace
chance.
10. Chris is winning. Turns of 5, that's no help
Yeah,
to
ace
Peter.
didn't want to see Chris last time. What's this little beauty?
It's an ace.
Oh, bullseye!
There's Chris.
Yeah.
How unlucky
That's the
can you
ace he wanted to see
get?
before.
Unbelievable.
The ace comes down on the river,
Enjoy yourself.
and the river has sunk Chris Mason.
I was going to say that.
Mace, the ace, loses to the ace of hearts.
The Manley River there. The ace on the end. It was a
you'd have
nice
lasted
starting
this long,
hand for Peter Manley.
Good time to talk,
Chris
isn't it?
Mason must have thought he was good there.
Maybe I was a bit passive. I'm not sure. It was very hard to put them on anything. When they're if they're not raising pre-flop, I felt I knew where I was. But when they were raising pre-flop, sometimes, I mean, Wayne raised exactly the same amount pre-flop as he did on Ace King that he did on King 9. And I'm sorry, but I just don't think that's, you know, I don't think that's great table play. But that's the way he plays. He's still in, I'm out. And hopefully I'll get another chance to play amongst some poker players.
Both had crap hands, haven't they?
Well, he hasn't played
There's loads in there, we wouldn't have bet.
according to
No.
type.
You know what I mean?
Eric Bristow.
Okay, show 150 there.
We're just hoping for a little runner then. I hope you had the pair with it. Then it could have been, oh, I might nick a grand off you, you know what I mean? My bet.
Certainly is.
Putting the Crafty back into Crafty Cockney.
150.
150.
Yep.
King's not bad. Three-handed.
Call.
But calling's not so clever.
Pass.
Check.
No raise.
The king could spell disaster.
Nine, 4, 10.
Check.
Check.
200.
200.
Here we go. This is a bit more like it from Eric. 2 overcards and a straight draw. It's another interesting decision for Peter Manley, who had a similar situation earlier and called, although not necessarily for so much.
Pass.
Perhaps the amount of money makes the difference.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
It's just about the
again.
first time that Eric has tried to represent something he
hand
hasn't
out,
had.
Tom.
First
That's a joke,
move
isn't it?
from
Yeah.
Bristow, and it comes
Yeah.
with 3 of his
Yeah.
colleagues
Well, you think
already
you're rich,
out.
next minute
In
you're skin
hand
again.
43.
It's like getting married, isn't it? One minute you got a house, next minute you ain't. Tell me about it. I'm in my mum's house at the moment.
And it's interesting to note that
Yeah,
if
I'm joking,
you
isn't
do get encouragement from
Oh,
representing
Yeah.
something you
Fine.
don't have, perhaps it gives you
The
that
second one.
extra boost to try it again, to sort of
Only
start to
clap, lucky
free
clap.
yourself up, loose yourself up a bit. So it'll be interesting now to
Oh,
see
he's a good
how
man,
Eric
I tell you.
Bristow plays. Will he start to realise that he can start to bully the table?
No.
Pass.
Wayne Mardle with
80
the
to call.
king, slings it in the muck. Peter Manley's got very little. He's in a small blind. Does he take a punt at it? He's slowed up as well.
I've got to show the boys this because I'm really making them happy.
He's got a bit tight out there now, isn't it?
Good, isn't it? Yeah.
You consider
He's over the moon.
going right back to hand 3. Mardle with the eye-catching,
I just thought I'd show you.
breathtaking,
small blind.
over the top, all in
Yeah.
with absolutely nothing. And now He really is playing
Am I?
extremely tight.
70.
That's the one.
I'm on a roll now.
Pass.
Yeah, I'll have a go with him. Give him some money.
Any raise?
Check.
No raise.
Mardle's picking up some nicer looking cards now. Bristow hasn't got much at the moment. And he's
Three
got
jack.
a bit of the
10.
flop, although we haven't seen him bet with bottom pair or anything near it.
Mardle, though, has got a lot of the flop.
How will Mardle play this?
Check.
Check.
A check would be good.
100.
Same as.
A little bit.
150.
Was it 150?
No, 150.
Yeah.
I went no 100.
Same as.
Okay, 150 in a call.
Immediately called. That's music to Mardle's
You want to call
ears.
quicker, don't you?
He must put him on some sort of
here we
flush
go,
draw
then.
again here, so if a club comes down,
5.
that's another helpful card
Check.
for Mardle.
It is, but although
300 the bet?
Well, he had him on the flush draw before, and
300.
of course that spade coming down has
300.
actually played into Eric's hands
problem.
for the flush
I'm with
draw.
it.
Well, Wayne Mardle doesn't like this, but if he could see what Eric Bristow was calling with, but he has picked up a flush draw now. It's a massive pot.
Jack.
Oh my goodness, it is a spade, but that's the one he didn't want.
Nightmare on 5th Street for Eric Bristow. He's hit his flush,
Check.
but it's
Check.
a full house for Mardle. This is going to be a big turnaround in the
500 all in.
stacks.
I'm covered it.
All in. And a
Doing
call.
much better. He's going to be distraught when he sees the cards.
Okay,
Flush.
jacks and tens.
He was unlucky there, fella.
Full house to take it.
Eric is devastated. What a big hand for Wayne
I'm going to check this
Mardle.
at 500 with an ace.
Jack of spades was the one card that he really, really wanted to see.
Yeah.
That was a massive hand. This is how it shaped up. 3-8 in Eric's hand. Then when the 10 came down,
I wanted to
it
go
was
out
a long way
and
second.
say
Wayne had 2
and salt,
pairs.
but now
5 of
I'm-
spades came down. Eric had the flush draw.
You wanna
Jack
go
of
for
spades
2-2.
came down. He was looking
on.
at Jack flush. Thought he was laughing. Wayne, though, pulled full house. Eric has been hit for a lot of money.
Oh, you got a garden, have you? In the caravan. Sorry. He's got a different garden every morning.
Confirmation of the
He
level
said
of
to
the
his wife,
blinds,
"Now,
100
what
for
kind
the
of
small
garden do you want
blind,
there?"
200 for the
He
big
said, "Park
blind,
here."
300 for every round of betting. And even
You're
Peter,
right,
who's
so you
in the
mix the
lead,
flowers,
only
don't you?
has
Wherever they do teas and
1,800.
burgers.
So you see the pressure that Eric's under to keep finding hands, keep chipping away and picking those blinds up at least once every time round. And what a time to hit double top.
So,
200, yeah.
It's 4 of them, see. 4 red ones and 200.
black calls
Go on, I'll
can
have a little
sometimes
dabble.
get you into trouble,
Any
but
raise?
No,
sometimes
Okay,
be
everybody's checked.
quite a deceptive play.
No raise and big blind.
And he's got both of them in with him, of course.
King 8, 3.
Perfect for Manley.
3 hearts, which must be a little bit of a worry for Manley, but even
Roll it.
so,
Going all in.
it couldn't be better, really, could it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And a chance.
7, 8, 900.
He could
900
take
is
them both
all.
out here.
Don't tell me that Wayne Mardle's going to get involved as well. Don't tell me. Nobody's got a heart.
This could be Christmas for Peter One Dart Manley.
You'd have to survive a few
Call.
cards.
Go on,
Any
then,
king,
go
any
for it.
4, any 7.
Go on, Peter. Go for it as well.
The trouble with calling, Peter Manley's behind. Will he go all in? Can he possibly consider he's behind? Can he work it out that he's behind? He's having a headache. Ooh, doesn't like it now. A bet, an all-in bet and a call. What's out there?
Cool.
Phone call.
Oh my giddy odds.
Well, he's
I've
called
got
it.
No odds.
Neither have I now.
Well, he'll be encouraged by those.
Should have gone all in. I know I should have.
Lines. Talking themselves out of this.
No, it's still better.
900.
Yes.
Leave it exposed.
You just leave the card up. Then.
Okay, leave it exposed. It's not intentional.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't
They're
think
still betting on the side there.
there's still money.
Sorry, beg your pardon.
Eric's all in. He
Well,
started the
people
hand with
will vote.
1100, Wayne with 2100 and Peter with 2800. So they've all matched Eric's
No, I
bet,
beg your
and
pardon.
now it's up to Manley
Sorry.
and
You two have got
Mardle.
live cash.
Peter doesn't like it
The card's
because
exposed, okay.
effectively
There's no
he's worried
intention.
about he's worried about the hearts. He's
I
worried
know
about
that.
two
I know
pair.
I'm not a cheat anyway, bloody hell.
You got
I
encouragement
thought it
from
was
Wayne
all done.
Mardle, who said he doesn't like it,
Jack. Just between the two of you.
and that hasn't changed anything.
Check.
Check.
Now Manley's
Go all in.
mainly got to go
Go
all
all
in.
in. That's an all in.
You always gone mad. I've got no chance. I'm dead. I'm doomed.
You have got
Maybe.
a chance. You've got a chance of a 4 or a king, Eric.
Oh, it's a good bluff.
Wayne Mardle's got a problem now. Apologies, it's Mardle with a 4 or a king. Should he decide to put money in, it's Eric with the 7 or the king.
Is he pot committed? He's already matched Eric's 1100.
Pass. Okay.
He's thrown them.
Okay, let's have them on
money
the
away.
back, lads.
Just the two of you. Take that
Oh,
back.
King, where'd that go from?
And you got a king with it. Oh, I'm going to get a 7 of hearts.
It's King 7.
Pocket aces against
still mine,
King
yeah.
7. Pair of kings for Eric.
got one.
Can't get 7 of
11%
hearts.
chance.
You got to believe.
7 does him.
7 or king.
I'm going to get 7 of hearts.
Is it going to be a king? Is it going to be a 7? This is such a critical moment. 6 of hearts.
Okay, we lose Eric.
The
Well done,
crafty
wait, wait,
Cockney
quick wait.
pops
Well
it.
done.
Yeah, I've got to move you anyway.
Okay, no, quick.
Well done, boys.
Thanks, Eric.
Eric on his way.
Can I go
Peter
from
Manley
now?
with a massive hand, and he goes into the heads up. Huge favourite, 5,000 quid. And Wayne hangs in there with 1,000, but it eliminated Eric. It hurt Wayne, almost mortally wounded him as well. What a big hand that was.
Good night. Good night.
I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed a whole lot of it. I mean, I had a couple of goes there. I mean, I had some bad hands to start with, but I had a couple of flushes that just kept me going and kept me in the game. And at the end there, turned over 3 hearts with a king. I've got a pair of kings. I've got to go all in. I was a short stack, and I thought he had a flush. And I was very surprised when he turned over a pair of aces. So I still could have nicked it at the end anyway. But you got to do that when you're short stacks. You got to try and build up. And no, I've enjoyed the whole game. I'll be back again.
Sometimes being crafty just isn't enough. You have to be cunning and clever with it. Eric Bristow couldn't crack Peter Manley's aces. We're down to heads up. Will it be surfs up for Hawaii 501 or one dart in the bullseye? Join us after the break.
So, down to the last 2. Heads up, Peter Manley against Wayne Mardle. And of all the tournaments we've had so far, this is considerably the biggest gap between the two going into the heads up. 5,000 for Peter, only 1,000 for Wayne. Even though the number of hands they've won almost identical, the bet frequency very similar as well. The lowest cash level almost identical.
Better in my pocket.
Be tough to call an all-in bet with a queen 6. Does he raise and get in first?
Raise.
Raise.
Yes, he's done the right thing in many ways.
300.
Raises 300. 5 in total.
What kind of ammunition has Wayne got against? Look at that ace jack suited.
I'm all in.
Going all in.
Oh dear. perhaps it wasn't the right thing to raise. The heads up is a completely different art form to some of the other poker we play. Personally, not a lot of players are complete losses to know exactly what to do. There are specialist players in these situations. You see some of the top American players. It's a very aggressive raising game. Manley did raise. Now the pot is 1,700. Can he afford to call it? He can afford it. Can he afford to call it?
Cool.
700 call.
Percentage-wise, it's
Wayne shows.
roughly right, I suppose.
Ace Jack.
Yep.
Peter shows.
Roughly.
Queen 6.
It's a race.
Be kind to Daddy.
It's the queen I don't mind, the 6 hurts.
Okay. Well, it's been a great game, whatever happens.
I think it could be the end.
Come on. Come on!
Not flinching. Manley's not flinching.
Totally implacable.
There's some in front. How long for?
Oh, there's the 6. There's the 6. 2 pairs for Manley.
Or 2 10s.
Double 10, double 10.
Yeah.
2 10s would be an interesting outcome.
Hey! Come on, baby.
Wow.
No queen, no 6. No, yeah.
Doesn't matter. You've got 2 pairs.
A massive flop, a massive turn.
Well, you know 6 queens now.
And he's not favourite to put it off from here. Well, he was 2 cards away from going out, but he sits back down. It's transformed the prospects of Wayne Mardle, and now he has 40% of the money.
All round.
4 of the names crossed out. Wayne must have been
How long
almost
the
ready to
blind,
go
Mike?
and rub out. He's on the way through that back door.
How long's left on the blinds? There's 8 minutes and 34 seconds.
What do you reckon, Steve? Will we see the next level of blinds?
Well, it's been a fascinating game, and I think the standard has been exceptionally high. There's been some great manoeuvres, some great play. It's a game of opportunities, 6-handed, fast blind structure. And the players have been aggressive, and here's another action flop. Both players catching something.
Wayne's got up and down straight draw with the 8 and 9. Pair of 8s for Manley.
Going all in. Okay, we've got an all in.
Both all in.
Right, you've got more than me, haven't you?
Manley's got the best of it.
Count it after, or do you want to count
Yeah,
it?
whatever.
Turn the cards in.
Only just.
And then we'll count it down.
6, 7, a straight draw for Wayne. Peter has
Very
1
easy
pair
to
of
be
8s.
turned over here.
5 or 10. 5 or 10.
5 or a 10 for Mardle. Manley, another 8, puts him in a massive situation.
5 or 10.
No help for Wayne.
No.
Mardle has 1 hope against 1 dart. 1 card away from elimination.
No.
That is the card. It's Peter Manley, £6,000. Sensationally exciting darts heat. The Sporting Stars Challenge. Wonderful poker.
Yeah, I know.
Mardle with one of the moves of the week. Back on hand 3, did Mason then on hand 13 with a magnificent move as well. He's produced some blinding poker, but ultimately he walks away with nothing. Peter Manley, £6 better off, and with a chance to win another 20 in the final.
Congratulations, you played well.
See you later.
You played really well. Thanks.
Bye.
Peter Manley, 1 dart, 1 heck of a triumph as well. He's won £6,000. He's deservedly won £6,000. A big grin from Manley. And it was some wonderful poker. The best heat so far.
From double tops to double ups, what a great darts heat. Let's hear from both the guys.
It was a competitive table. It's the atmosphere that we love. it's the fact that we beat each other week in, week out anyway. But it was good, and it was also nice to take out Phil.
Yeah, it feels quite exciting actually. It's quite strange. It's my sort of game, lazy, sitting there at a table. So I just plodded along, and you know, everyone was fearful of probably losing first and going out. But in all fairness to Phil, he didn't really get any cards. But yeah, I feel great. I think I was bluffed out the second hand with Wayne, and but you just got to stick in there and you know, keep enough to keep the blinds going. And when you get your opportunity, just take the chance.
Peter One Dart Manley, our third player into the final representing darts. Next week, one athlete will be sprinting down the back streets of the East End with a bundle of cash on them after winning their heat. Join us next time.